Hi everyone, my name is Jana and welcome to my channel Divine Direction. In this video, we are going to be looking at the messages for the sign of Leo. So Leo, when I was doing your cards and putting them out, for some reason I was thinking about when I went to college the first time, when I was just itty bitty. I think I was 17 when I went to college for the first time because I have a later birthday. So I was thinking about this college experience and I'm like, why are these images coming in my head? And I just kind of think about that time and I didn't do very well. It was a 3-year program. I finished, I got my diploma, and I never did anything with it. And I just kind of think about my grades back then. They weren't that great. And normally when I'm in school, I do really well. But I think back to that time and I think, Jenna, you were 17. You were a baby. You were out on your own for the first time ever. And you're thrust into this atmosphere that is new to you. I didn't take it seriously enough. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have enough experience. I didn't try hard enough either. I really didn't. I think I just kind of accepted that I was going to be horrible at it. And even though I handed in my assignments, it's like I didn't even try to get any better because I didn't think that I could. And sometimes we judge ourselves on our past experiences and we just think, yeah, no, I can't do this, or what's the point? That's kind of the vibes that I'm getting here. We're judging ourselves on past experiences, whether we have thought those things about ourselves or other people have thought them about ourselves. You have the deer spirit, and to me, this is like talking about seeing yourself as being weak or being fragile, sensitive, whatever, doesn't matter. You have the strength card in reverse, and you're seeing yourself as maybe that way and thinking, I'm not strong. No. Honey, 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 my guides are saying. There is a huge difference. There's so many different forms of strength, and we all have one of them. And it doesn't have to be the way that it's portrayed often. There is a lot of strength in being sensitive, okay? And we're not going to get into that because I've talked about it a bit, but it's not necessarily just about that, right? You have the 6 of Pentacles and you also have the 10 of Pentacles. To me, in the 6 of Pentacles, I'm seeing not necessarily you, but in this example, we are receiving money from someone and kind of getting like maybe we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so seeing ourselves as only ever being poor or middle class or whatever, like not having financial security, not having that, right? Again, judging ourselves, judging where we could go, or judging our limits by what we've experienced, okay? For some of you, this might have to do with relationships. We have the 2 of Cups in reverse. Relationships keep coming up this week. This card, I swear, has come up in the majority of the readings, okay? So maybe we haven't dated before, or our dating life hasn't really worked out, right? So some of you, I'm seeing the word divorced. If we were married before and thinking that it's always going to be like that, like, oh no, I've been divorced, so if I get married again, I might get divorced again, or my relationship won't work out. I'm hearing my relationships don't work out. The story that we're telling ourselves, right? So I said this recently to somebody. Yeah. You need to change your story. You need to write yourself a new story because you're singing the same old tune and you just keep repeating it, okay? With the Magician in reverse, it's like you're not even using your power, okay? And I'm not trying to rag on anyone because I do this too. I do. Things that I've thought about myself keep popping up and I have to be like, oh, right. All right, I remember thinking this about myself. And in some cases I still do, okay? And I need to stop doing that, right? I need to stop doing that because I often think about my work experience and how, yeah, there we go. Okay, often when I go to work, somebody starts bullying me and I just, I might leave. So that's kind of the story that I've told myself, that I'm afraid to go out and get another job because I'm afraid it's going to happen again, because that's a lesson I need to learn. But then my guides reminded me of when I was younger and I worked at this one job. I was there for 2 months and it was like a retail job. I was working on the sales floor for 2 months and then they put me in the office. I was probably 20. And one person in particular did not like me being in there because I was so young and didn't think that I could do the job. So she proceeded to make my life hell. And that equated to a couple of bathroom stall cries. But I got through it. You know what? I ended up, I kept going because I liked my job. And it got to the point where she saw that I was serious about it and that I was doing well, and she even stuck up for me at one point. So my guides reminded me of that because I was constantly telling myself that, I can't handle it then. I can't handle it. It's weird because I can handle constructive criticism, definitely, but when somebody keeps cutting at me, I can't handle it and I leave. And my guides are like, Jenna, it's not that you couldn't handle it, it's just you didn't want to be in that atmosphere, right? You proved yourself in that job, and you stayed. So I've been telling myself this lie, as they're saying, this lie for a while now. And they also said, who's to say, Jenna, that the next job that you go to isn't your forever job or you don't stay there for a long time? Who says that somebody's going to bully you there? Because I have been at jobs where I haven't been bullied. And they're like, see, there you go. But there's me writing that same old story. And if I keep thinking about that, then it might prevent me from going to the next job. Or it might create the scenario where I am bullied again. Because even in my last job, there was one person there that had been known for being a bully. They never tried anything with me. I got along with them very well. So I just have to remind myself that that is not my story, okay? That is not my story, and I won't be sticking to it. So, what story, Leo, have you been telling yourself from past experiences? And it might even just be the way that you viewed the experience, okay? Just like me, right? Because when we actually take the time to look at our past experiences that we're judging ourselves on, we can gain a lot of wisdom from looking back. Because my first instinct when I was seeing the imagery of me at this college course, right? I'm like, what's the point of me even looking at this? Because that was so long ago. It doesn't even feel like it was part of this life. I honestly feel that I'm in a completely different life from back then. But I mean, I was 17 and now I'm 35, right? So I'm like, what's the point? That's completely in the past. And the guys are like, here's the point, Jenna. You are judging yourself. for how you used to be at the age of 17. And they're like, weren't you pissed off at your friend because they kept judging you for the way that you acted when you were in your late teens, early 20s, and not seeing the growth that you've done? But yet here you are, I'm getting called out right now, here you are judging yourself for something that you did down there. So now they're getting sassy. So maybe taking that time to figure out where we have held ourselves back in our thinking, right? We have the Hangman in reverse, because I'm definitely feeling that this is us holding ourselves back, holding ourselves accountable and hearing for holding ourselves back because of past experiences. Now, in some cases, people have said shit to us and it really affected us, right? That one's a hard one. For me, I think about sometimes where I'm like, why did I let that person have that much control over me, right? Was it appropriate for them to say the things that they did about me? No. I remember an instance where a guy in high school was calling me fat. I was overweight, and it really triggered a feeling within me, right? Because that's what I would always call myself, and I was really self-conscious about it. It was an issue for me, okay? Was he right in saying that to me? No. I don't think that we should say that sort of thing to other people. I think we should be peaceful, you know? If somebody is going to say something constructive, that's completely different, but that was a dick move, right? In that case, that was kind of more, I forgave myself for letting his words affect me negatively and hold me back. And I also, I forgave him because growing up, I now know a little bit of what experiences he had as a kid. But anyways, so that's, I'll put that aside. But the thing is, I let that experience haunt me for so many years, right? And it's not about beating myself up about this or beating ourselves up about this, Leo. This is about taking our power back. In that case, it definitely, again, with the Magician in reverse, taking our power back, that keeps coming up in all of the readings. Taking our power back by seeing the situations differently, by forgiving ourselves, and by writing a new story, okay? So this reading is really about writing yourself a new story, Leo. One where you win. Yeah, I channeled that for another person like a couple of weeks ago. And I was really trying to get through to them because I've seen it in my own life, right? We need to start seeing our potential and seeing what possibilities lie ahead of us without those limitations that we've set upon ourselves. And yes, they are easy. It's easier said than done, but it becomes easier when we take that time, use our inner wisdom here, and really look at these old experiences with new, fresh eyes, and think, okay, wow, okay, yeah. We have the Judgment card, and I feel it's us judging ourselves very harshly, right? Very harshly for things that have happened in the past. Another example that they're giving me is, I always felt like I never finish anything. And my guys are like, Jenna, you knew that the program that you were in wasn't right for you, but you still finished it. Like, just because I didn't finish other things doesn't mean that I never finish anything, right? So I need to stop telling myself that that's who I am, right? And I catch myself now when I'm just making comments, negative comments about myself, but it's like I do it kind of to be funny when I'm talking to other people. And then it's like, oh, I shouldn't say that. But how many times have I said that before, right? Like always saying that I'm forgetful. I mean, these are just minor things, but they still have an impact, right? I feel like my voice is strained right now, and it's like there's a lot of power in our words and in our voices. How we talk about ourselves, okay? So let's create a new story for ourselves. For some of you, you might really enjoy scripting, writing out maybe what could happen in your life, right? We have the Hawk card, so to me, this is a change in the wind, right? We change the direction of our lives when we start to change how we view ourselves, how we talk about ourselves, how we see ourselves, okay? So with the Two of Cups in reverse, I'll never get married again, or I'll never find a partner, no one ever wants me. You need to stop telling yourself that story. We do have, to me, this is a connection card, right? Yeah, we haven't met the right person yet, okay? We haven't met them yet. So, I mean, with me, like, I keep seeing the progression of me trying to find this person for me over the years. And the way that I was going about things wasn't, it was different, because back then I was a different person, but now, but I look at it and I'm like, all of those experiences have helped me to try to pinpoint exactly what I'm looking for, right? So it's not that relationships don't work out for me, it's just I haven't found the right one, right? So it's easier for us to change that view of it and to change the words that we're using, right? So just like the Five of Cups, we're not focusing on what we've lost. Let's focus on what we gained or what we have, right? Everything for me is a struggle. Yeah. Everything for me is a struggle. And it could be something specific, but yeah, that story. Four of Cups in reverse. This could be the story that I tell myself, okay, like what is the universe, every time I try to manifest, I don't get what I want. The universe hates me, or God hates me. No. Let's stop telling ourselves those stories, okay? I can't do it. This runs in my family. I can't do it. I will always be this. I will always do that. No, honey. Cycle breaker. There's a lot of us here to break the cycles from our of our ancestral patterns, from our lineage, right? We are here to break those cycles. You don't have to end up like that, right? Just because everyone before you has always had difficulty with money, it doesn't mean that you will. You're your own person, and you need to stop giving your power away to that belief. Turn it around, honey. Turn it around. That's when this change happens, right? I'm stuck. I'll never get out of debt. That's what I'm hearing right now. I'll never get out of debt. Okay. And I'm hearing, your wish is my command then, right? Or For me, I decided, I never thought that I could get out. It's not that I never thought that I could get out of debt, but I just thought that it would take me forever to pay off my credit card. And I mean, it was like $3,500, but to me, that was a lot, like a big sum. And then I asked my angels and guides for help, and I used my intuition, and I figured it out, and everything worked out. So I now have, my credit card is paid off, right? So don't tell yourself that you'll never, okay? Why don't we try telling ourselves that we can and we will? And it doesn't have to be about taking big leaps towards things. What if we just started saving money every week and putting that on our credit card? $20 a week. Do you spend, how much do you spend on coffee every week, right? Can you maybe take a day or two off of having coffee out and putting that money towards your debt, And it doesn't even have to be that small either, but you can always ask the universe, ask your angels and guides to help guide you. But we need to stop limiting ourselves from past experiences. Okay. Another example I'm getting, I always would say to myself, I have difficulty making connections with people. And I honestly felt like I did. I could easily make friends, but I just didn't feel like there was that deeper connection. And it came to realize that there wasn't, because I wasn't being myself around people. I was too afraid to be myself, so I wasn't sharing aspects of myself and my life with them. And it wasn't until when I started my last job that I started to have conversations with people, and they were genuine, and I was sharing things about myself. Like I talked about my depression with people, which is something that I used to hide because I was very shameful of it. And then I come to realize that a lot of people have similar struggles, and I can bond with them about that. But even just opening up to them about what I like to do, I found somebody at my job that also is into spirituality, actually a couple of people, because I mentioned it or I made a comment about something that they had said, right? So it wasn't me not being able to make connections with people. I just wasn't being open enough, all right? So again, that was a lesson that I needed to learn. Okay, but that was a story that I continually told myself. And it's like we freed ourselves from being able to move forward if we're going to believe that we're always going to be this or we're always going to be that. Okay? So let's stop judging ourselves, Leo. And really, you're being encouraged right now to take some time to figure out what it is that you desire and write your new story. You don't have to actually write it out. You can just think about it in your head. You can visualize it. For some of you, they would really encourage that you write it out because that might help you. So, but I'm seeing us at a crossroads, okay? And I've felt this with a lot of people, a lot of signs in this reading. We're at a crossroads and we need to decide which way we're going to take, okay? The one way is going back to our old ways and staying in that comfort zone, telling ourselves the same story, getting stuck in patterns and cycles, or we can break free and move forward in a new direction, in the positive direction, having that change in the wind, okay, Leo? So I think this is very exciting for you though, because this is going to create big movement in your life when you start telling yourself that, hey, I can do this, hey, you know what, I actually do win. So if you think you never win, try to think of times when you actually did win. I used to think, I'm like, hey, I'm not very lucky. Well, then I think back to maybe times that I've won things. I remember when I was little and there was like this fair, and I won a bottle of Crystal Pepsi, and that's showing my age. If anyone remembers Crystal Pepsi, and I was so excited. I was so excited for winning that. And then I remember another time, and this involves my mom, where for Christmas, I really wanted an iPod, and we didn't have like a ton of money. So my mom, she really wanted to get me an iPod. And then one day she went to the bank and they were having this, this contest, and you would just enter it, you'd fill out your name, and if you won an iPod. Well, my mom won it. So in a way, I won because I got what I wanted, right? So I think about things like that, and I'm like, you know what? I do win sometimes. You know, I do win. And even, my guys are like, even if you say sometimes, that's okay. You know, I do win. So changing that story, I am capable of having deep and meaningful connections with people. I haven't met the right person yet, but I'm going to. You know, starting out and telling ourselves these different things, and see how quickly your life changes. Okay, Leo? So, tell yourself a new story, and I'm really excited for you to see how your life changes, how things begin to shift. Okay, we are at this crossroads, and we're really being encouraged to take the steps, even if they're small. You know, even if you start thinking, okay, you know what, I'm going to start telling myself that I can succeed. You know, it could just be one thing, but that shows the universe your intentions, that you are moving in this new direction, okay? So thank you so much for watching, Leo. I hope you like this message. Please let me know if it resonated, and hopefully I see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.